Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, out in the
Hello.
land of the virtual, wherever you are right now. I'm here with a beloved sister, Deborah Leanne. And where we are, it's Friday here in the United States. And
Kind of happy hour.
we're calling it happy hour. We're calling it happy
Oh,
hour.
cacao hour. I don't know. That's not quite happy, but
Oh, I don't know about that.
that's true. Um, so we were just having a conversation. We thought maybe there would be some other folks that might want to hear it about some of the energetics and emotions and the neuroscience around where we get stuck and where we forget how to play. And knowing how important that is for us to move into the space of innovation and transformation so that we can be the leaders we need to be in the world. It's important to learn how to play. So, Karen, help me learn how to play.
I am on a learning curve myself. And before we hopped on this call, we started to touch on the subject, and we felt that yeah, maybe this might help some others. So I'll share a little bit about what I was sharing with Deborah about an awareness that I've had recently about play and why for some it's activating. I have done so much soul excavating, emotional excavating, past life, you name it, over these past many, many years. And I have had guidance given to me, offered to me, saying, you need to play more, you need to play more. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it was very activating for my nervous system to hear that. Like play to me felt like work and another thing to do. And I recently learned, as I've been in this exploration about polyvagal theory and our beautiful nervous system that helps us to navigate between what is safe for us and what is unsafe for us, which is so brilliant that we have this hard wiring and these spidey senses that are always looking out for us to keep us quote unquote safe. And what I learned is that there's a state of being within our nervous system that is called ventral, which is it's when you feel safe, it's when you feel good, it's when you're feeling in flow. And then there's a sympathetic aspect to the nervous system, which is more energetic and activated and more of a like, I need to get away. I need to take an action. I need to um, move away from this dangerous thing to protect myself. And there is an alchemy between the two states that creates a state of play. So there's this energy, but there's also a feeling of safety.
Hmm.
And for for me, what I had the awareness around is that from all of the things that happened in my life, all of the traumas or that I can remember, they were always when I was in a state of being who I was. They were always when I was in my power. They were always when I was playing, when I was a little kid and I was um, doing my
Feeling
thing and
magical and
being in my imagination, and which to me is where my magic exists, that the bad things happen. So I developed a belief that play is not safe. And what was safe, what is safe, is being a hard worker and being responsible and being very efficient. And so I'm sharing with that to see anybody else have a story around play. Deborah?
And it's funny because one of the things, one of the many, oh man,
Oh, sorry. I'm
one of the modalities that I play with is the gene keys. And one of the modalities that I play
I was
with,
trying to, I'm sorry, I was
you
trying to
need
see
to,
if people
you need,
were, if anybody was commenting, but for some
oh,
reason it won't mute. So we're just going to have to share this. And if
okay.
anybody wants to comment, we can happily respond to you later. Okay, go on, my
All
Deborah.
right. I'm sorry.
I'm
So,
sorry.
so, so one of the things that I play with is the gene keys, and my profile has right like one of my main keys is the shadow of seriousness, and just went really, and I have it twice. So it's not only like the pearl or the essence of what I'm here to do in this lifetime. It's a big way for me to learn that I can be in my, when I'm in my radiance and in my allness, that I am acting from a state, the gift of delight and the spiritual state of ecstasy. Which when I first heard this, I was like, what, what planet do I need to go to get that? Because I don't have a passport. I don't know how to speak that language. So and it's the same thing where people keep saying, I mean, even my daughter said to me this last time she was back visiting, she goes, what happened to you? It's like your light went out. You don't play anymore. And I went, that really hurt because, she speaks her mind with me, thank God. But it was scary that, I mean, she sees me that I am really not operating in joy anymore. So I'm interested in knowing how I feel that time is important and doing the serious work is important. But how do you balance that with, do you build in a play practice like you do a yoga practice or I don't know. I'm just help.
For me, it really comes down to building a safety practice
A safety practice.
to
Yeah.
cultivate the safety muscles and strengthen them. Because when you know that you're safe, um, you can navigate the world and feel okay in whatever you're doing and know how to bring yourself back if
Hmm.
if you're thrown.
Yeah. Without the judgment, because my inner critic gets really loud when they're like, see, you're supposed to be playing this afternoon. What are you doing? You're fixing that. Because I swear that my my little egoic self will create so much drama to keep, there's no room for play. Like there's just, sorry, we got to fix this now. We got to do this now. And I'm like, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah. And that could be how your nervous system is protecting you. Nope. We have to work. We have to work.
I love that.
Right?
I'm
Mhm.
just laughing because that's exactly what happens is it's like, well, yeah, you said you were going to do a play date today, but that's
Mhm.
not the way it's going to work.
You're not alone. That's how we are not only taught, but we're encouraged in this culture
Mm.
to work. That is what means, that's what responsible means. And to be in a state of stress and being rushed means that you're important and that you're doing things in the world.
Yeah, like that's important at all. Right now, I know, and my soul knows, and my whole being knows how important it is to just stop and relax. And sometimes that's like my first step. I can't get to the play thing, but I'm learning how to like slow down or stop
Mhm.
and just like I have enjoyed the most amazing sunrises and sunsets this week. There's something really fun about this time of the year in the northern hemisphere where the days are so short, but to see the sunrise and sunset every single day is just magical for me. And I that to me is a form of play. I mean, it's may not be getting my markers out and doing something like artistic, but it feels like I'm tapping into something beyond this brain thing that
Yeah.
churns all the problem solving and
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, that's also for some, and for those of you that are joining us who are dancing along with this conversation, for many of us, watching a sunrise or a sunset is very regulating to our system. When you watch the sunrise or the sunset, it is feels good.
Yeah.
You get to take in the beauty, the awe,
Yeah.
the gratitude. Like there's so much that happens in that moment. You breathe in the beauty.
Yeah. And
It gives the system a pause.
it gives me a chance to feel the allness, the unified field, the higher consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It's because it stops me from my little me self and it goes, whoa, look who we are, you know? And it feels so big and immense uh and it feels very safe. I love that you have the safety game thing. So tell me, what would be a practice to play with in terms of safety, to like create more of that or return to its space in our bodies?
There are, you can Google, anybody can Google polyvagal exercises online.
Mhm.
I'm just in the baby steps of embarking on my learning. But one very simple one is just to simply look around, like allow your eyes to move around and let your eyes like follow what your eyes are looking at.
Mm,
It's a way of that we orient to where we are, and you can let your eyes move over your shoulders, move back, just
yeah,
not to be too long, and then you just pause and see what you notice. And it's just like, oh, here I am, and it helps to bring you back into presence.
I love that. I love that. One of the things that I had learned from my chiropractor, who does a lot of polyvagal work, um, is she would hold me at my head like on the table, and she would say, "Okay, so move your eyes all the way to the right. I mean, you move your vision all the way to the right, and hold it there for a couple of breaths, and then." And I wasn't allowed to move my head. So it was like expanding my peripheral vision, which is really good because we walk around like this all the time. And then let's move it all the way to the left. And you do this a couple of times. And what it does is it brings both lobes of the brain on board so that you're not overly on one side or the other. And we tend to spend a lot of time, or we tend to lean on one side of our um, uh, either logical or uh, big vision, one or the other. So, I've got some coaching things that I've done, but I didn't realize that that was also a way of creating safety. I think for me, I have to touch my body, like put my hand on my belly, put my hand on my heart, and go, we're good, you know, everything's okay right now.
Yeah.
But I'm so much better at coaching others than I am at practicing this for myself. Um,
This is your medicine. This
it
is
is, oh, definitely is my medicine.
mhm.
So play, um, are there other like I think of play is, a lot of people are like, oh, oh, I color or I dance or all these different artsy things, like John and I will sit at the piano and sing sometimes. That's very fun. But does it have to be artistic, or can it just be, is there another, I'm just trying to think of, is there a creative play that doesn't involve the arts? Doesn't involve getting out art supplies and making a big mess?
Yes.
What would that?
We get to define play in any way that feels good for us. It can, for some of us, it can be something artistic. For some of us, it can be playing with our pet.
Hmm.
You
I
know,
think a pet is really good about getting you out of your, yeah.
yeah, or enjoying a book, or
Where's Brooklyn? She should be joining this conversation.
she's lounging someplace else.
um, she just makes me smile when I see her. So
Me too.
there is that being in the moment thing. I think it's anything that brings us back to the moment.
Mhm.
I like that idea.
Yeah. And also connection, reaching out,
Like,
conversation with a friend. Yeah, like this. This feels like play to me.
yeah, well, we wrote down playtime, and I on the calendar, and when I joined the Zoom here, I was moaning and groaning about my computer being slow. And that's what got us onto the so how do you play thing, so I feel like very often, and I remember doing this about 10 years ago in a workshop. Just off the top of my head, I created a permission slip. Remember the ones that used to get signed by your parents to take, I could go on this field trip at school or whatever.
Mhm.
And it was a permission slip to play. And
Excuse me.
I think I need to do a great big one and put it smack dab on my office door. Like, you have permission to play today. And actually, not just permission, but like, it's kind of like a not requirement, because that sounds very serious. How can you make it like a not a mandate, but
It's safe for me to play today.
oh, that's pretty. It's safe for me to play today. I get to play today.
Yes, you do.
What a gift to be able to play today. Okay.
Yeah.
I got the idea now. Okay.
In the big scheme of things, if we go meta on this, we're all here playing the game of human,
Uh,
multi-dimensional human experience.
yeah, I know. And I keep telling myself, I signed up for this. I asked for this. So, and there's some days where it does feel so yummy and delicious and delightful, but I think I forget that a lot. And I appreciate you reminding me.
Likewise.
Mm,
And with everything going on in the world, we all need that reminder that it's really can feel challenging to not get pulled into all of the everything that's
the
going on.
heaviness. Yeah, it's very heavy. And I think as the more in touch we become with our our somatic, and our neural pathways, and all of the conscious awareness that we do, what happens is we tend to forget the playful part of it. I do. I'll speak for myself. And there's also something very oh, what was the word? It's like egotistical about the spiritual community. Very often we're like, we're doing the work, we're carrying the load for the collective. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know that I'm helping to heal and transmute and shift and be the bridge to move things along, but I also know that I don't need to carry.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we got that responsibility, or did we just take on that mantle of responsibility?
It's a trauma response that we believe we have to fix something.
Yes, because then we'll be loved, and then we'll be needed, and then we'll be wanted and appreciated. And oh my God, I can see all of my traumas tied up in this now.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that we have the power to heal our nervous systems in any moment, no matter what stage of the game you're at.
Yeah. And I feel very strongly that I'm not just healing mine, that this is a generational thing. You know, my mom, my grandma, and hopefully my daughters, like
Mm-hmm.
they've got a lot longer on this planet than I do. Hopefully they do.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I want to, I don't mind doing the work for me if it can kind of ripple out and make a difference to
And
more.
it is a lot of the work that I do through the Akasha in when I'm working with a client and they have, um, whatever story, whatever they're traversing, there's um, there's a trauma that gets passed on from our lineage that the lucky ones that we are in this life, we chose to be here because we have the power to not only heal ourselves, because we are powerful beings, we are also healing the trauma of our ancestors as
Hmm.
we bring ourselves into regulation. We're freeing them up as well.
Man, yeah. And it can be easy and fun, and it doesn't have to be so heavy. I mean, there's times when it doesn't feel so great because I don't want to play that game either of the toxic positivity that it's always going to be light and love, because it's not.
It's
But there,
messy.
it is messy. And that makes my little girl feel like I need to clean it up, you know? And I'm like, this is life, you know? And I think of some of the most amazing meals I've ever created. What a freaking mess I left in the kitchen. You know, it took a lot to get to that. I mean, like, anyway, I don't need to go into that further. You understand.
I
So,
love that analogy.
yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking really good sex. That's kind of messy. I mean, there's a lot of messy, you know, that's really, really wonderful. So, one of the other things I wanted to see if we could share is like, is there like a reflection or a way to just relax our minds and our hearts and our beingness into redefining play for ourselves? Like, what does creativity and play mean to you, to me, to, those listening? I feel like we need to stop playing the game of, well, that person, they make pottery, and that person, they're big into knitting. And I'm like, I don't do any of that stuff. So
Mhm.
then I feel like I don't play well, like I'm not doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's so much of what some of the illusions that we're shedding is, the comparison game, which keeps us in a state of separation,
Oh,
which is
absolutely.
a disconnection, so finding ways to, when you see somebody that's doing one of the things that's knitting, you're like, cool, that's really cool. I like to, make doodles in my coloring book, whatever's to celebrate, to find ways to celebrate yourself
Yeah.
and your unique flavor of whatever color of the rainbow you are today.
And that's so true. And some days it's like, I just want to walk around the house and move things around. It's like a space energy clearing kind of thing. And I do. And it's like, I'm going to set an altar up over here. And then if I move the furniture over there and it shifts everything, and I'm like, wow, that's so much better.
Yeah.
That's play for me. Yeah, I don't even think about the things that I do that are uh, playful.
Yeah.
Even some of my work is play. There's days where I get done with a client call and I'm like, oh my God, that was fun. I feel so nourished, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Redefining work, I think, is a really beautiful thing to do too. There's a lot of
Mhm.
there's a lot, and when you say the work, it can be really triggering for some people,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
Because we've given it a lot of meaning of what it's supposed to be, and I'm all for redefining that.
Okay. In. I'm in. Um,
Okay.
so where else do you I know I know you have many gifts and many ways that you play on this playground and right now. And your essence just even just showing up here today. I'm just trying to think of what else um like I've known you for quite a while and I still don't know all your gifts. I'm still being surprised by what you choose to share with the world, darling Karen. Would you like to tell us anything else that's new that's going on with you?
Um, I am just here to support beautiful beings on their human experience. And I have a myriad of tools and experiences that I get to offer. I love my work with the Akasha, and I have various offerings, which, if anybody's interested, can reach out to me. And I do a
Excellent.
lot of work with ancestral work and
Mm.
ceremonial work and breath work and whatever is in the field that day.
I love
So,
that.
and I
Yeah.
would love to know how, if anybody cares to share, how you define play or what you would like to name as play, and if it's a place of safety for you. And if not, just to know that you're witnessed in that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Deborah,
And
is there anything that you would like to offer out as
so,
we're
oh, well, I'm in the constant redefining who I am and what I'm doing in the world, but it is about embodiment, and the somatic awareness and to create embodied presence in dialogue and in leadership. So it's just a continuously growing world in terms of transformational leadership and the stuff that's going on right now. It is such high consciousness. I'm just like, oh, it's big work in the world, it's spiritual work in the world, even though it looks more business like.
Mhm.
So, like, there's a beautiful place of kind of playing with the juxtaposition and how I get stuck with that. So, what I wanted to just say that I would like to just share with everybody that came through right now is where I have been getting stuck is this whole thing of not noticing when I am playing.
Mm.
Not noticing that, wow, that was really fun, and appreciating, even if it was just 1 minute out of the day or 10 minutes, or like, I want to start building my awareness and acceptance and pleasure in those moments. And I feel like I've been judging them as not doing it right or not doing it enough or not, which totally like deletes the whole like it erases the whole thing, the experience. So, and you know how when you focus on an experience, how you can create more of it, how more of it will start showing up. So that's what I'm just thinking, if I'm going to that's one of my practices, is to start like noticing every day, hey, I did that and that was kind of playful, that was fun, and see how I can grow my play practice that way.
I
So
love that.
look at that, from just one little conversation with you, Karen. I love
It's always so much fun when we're together.
I know. So I would uh and if anybody has any desire to do some deep spiritual leadership work, I think Karen and I could cook up a great retreat for a
Mhm.
leadership team. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Uh, to get into the visioning process, to get into the space of operating from a different um, operating system, if you will, so that you can lead in an innovative, transformative, loving way. You know, that's what's being called for now, and we are we're at the forefront of delivering that for people.
Yep.
So thank you
Absolutely.
for all that you do.
Oh, thank you. You
And
really are, you are walking your talk, and it's so beautiful to see and to walk alongside you. So,
more of this, please.
yeah.
So
I'm going to end this. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined us, and please feel free to comment. Let us know if this resonates, supports, doesn't support.
yeah,
Please be kind with
questions.
your comments,
Yeah.
and let us know if we can support you. Thank you.
Blessings this